evening, everybody, and welcome to FLAVAHOUSE Network's Weekend Eats. I'm Casey, and for you foodies out there, oh baby, we're going to take it back to when I was just a little child. But anyway, we're going to do some 70s indoor cookout because cookouts and house parties were the thing. And we're going to be celebrating that today. We're going to have some delicious barbecued chicken. Oh, baby, but not just any barbecue chicken. I'm going to be showing you how to make the best barbecue sauce you want to use inside or out. That's number one. Number two, of course, we're going to have our mocktail moment, and I'll get to that in a moment. We are going to be getting some kitchen rhythms going on. And the kitchen rhythm today is something that's really close to my heart that happens to me every single day. And it drives my blood pressure up to whatever level it should be. Then we're going to be doing we're going to talk about whatever. But I decided this time, if you don't come up with this topic, I figured, hey, we could talk about the 70s. For those of us who were there, we can reminisce. And for those of you who weren't, you can tell me if you would have rolled with some of the things we had, and you do roll with some of the things, but we're going to decide whether our way was better or yours. Then we're going to have some, of course, Sundown Coffee. We're going to be talking about why do people want to drink coffee at night? And finally, you guys get all of my business with my home cooking story time. And I mean, really, you're going to get up in my business today. Anywho, let's see about this delicious mocktail that my mixologist put it together. Come on over here, Miss Mixologist. Let me see. First of all, I want y'all to check it out. Check it out. Check it out. There you go. Look how beautiful that is. Let me taste it. Ooh, I like.
It's good, right?
Let me get me a paper towel because I dripped. I spill. Yes, thank you very much. What is this, my mixologist? Please tell me.
We have here.
Uh-oh. We have here catastrophe. Okay. Let me get my eyes, y'all. Okay, I'm waiting. It's called?
It is called the Strawberry Backyard Breeze.
What?
The Strawberry Backyard Breeze. And what is in that?
We have strawberries. We have lemon juice. We have orange juice, simple syrup, a bit of sparkling lemon juice or lime juice. Mm-hmm. And we went ahead and we topped it off with the strawberry right there.
Look at that. Check it. This is going to go so good with our indoor cookout. This is what you want to have. Like I said, even if you get outside. And hey there, my sister. How you doing, T? Hey. Sounding like, that was nah. Gonna have a good time. Hey. That was the 70s cartoon. Y'all don't know
that one.
70s. Well, you grew up with me. But you weren't around when it came out because I was a kid.
I didn't know it came out in the 70s.
Yes. Fat Albert, yeah, girl, please. They had all the Saturday morning cartoons. They had the Jackson 5 had a cartoon, or the Jacksons, as you guys know, or Michael Jackson's brothers and him when he was together with the group. Okay, so what I'm going to show you guys now, what I decided to do is we had chicken thighs. And I like, y'all know I'm partial to the chicken thighs because they have a lot of meat and it's moist. But beautiful assistant took the bone out. So let me get my glove on and I want to show y'all what's happening with that. I want you to see what it looks like.
Oh, I forgot you don't have the black ones.
My black ones? I have no.
They are no more.
Okay, so now y'all got blue. I still have not gotten back to my pink yet, you know.
I haven't been able to find pink.
No, I haven't been able to find them either, and I kind of miss them because I like the pink ones.
Me too.
But anyway,
anything we like disappears.
I know. I'm gonna start pretending like I don't like stuff so I can get it. Because I'm telling you, every time I decide, it could be something that it just seems like nobody ever buys, and it's just sitting over there fossilizing. But if I start buying,
you know why? Let me tell you something. Because we have a tendency to buy the last of everything.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
What it'll be is that fossilizing item, we done bought the last 5, and they ain't never got no more.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because oh my goodness, every single thing that I get, that nobody ever gets, it's like it becomes a.
That's what it is.
You think I'm a trendsetter, huh?
I promise
anyway,
you.
So let me show you what happened. So what she did, she went, and I think I showed you guys how to debone a chicken thigh several shows ago, but she took the bones out. And the reason why we did that, because that's going to help it cook quicker. And I'm going to do a hack that's going to make it even faster to have this delicious barbecue chicken just like it's outdoors. For real, for real. Okay. And yeah, I know I got the grill master and I know he can grill, but you know what? I don't always want to have to wait on him. Okay, how about that? Anywho, let me get this glove off my hands. And speaking of the grill master sitting up there looking all need to come downstairs with his wife. Okay, yes, that's what he need to do.
Call
okay.
out in 4K.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, so let me just get this chicken. Now, what I want to do is the chicken. I would like for the chicken to be very as dry as possible, and so it's got a little condensation. So I'm going to dry it off some more.
I noticed as it set at room temperature,
right,
it started to like with the tenderizer on top.
Exactly,
started to draw that juice out.
Exactly. So we're going to dry it just a little bit. Let me move this over.
Do it for you or you?
Well, you can do it. You can take them over there and dry them if you want to. Well, she's going to take them over there. And like I said, I don't want to bore you with all these ingredients. So what we're going to do is she's going to dry it off. And as I'm doing it, you'll see what the ingredients are.
Yes. Okay.
How about that? Okay. But anywho, yeah, for real. But anywho, I figure while she's drying that, we can get these kitchen rhythm information that I have here that I kind of jotted down, because you know when you get to be 36, hey, I don't memorize this stuff. Anyway, so the kitchen rhythm for today's lessons class is, does this ever happen to y'all? Tell me if it doesn't. This happens to me every day. I'm telling you. That's why when I thought about it, I'm like, I wonder if it happened to everybody else. Hey, you said, I'm good. How are you? That is Teresa. How are you 36 and I'm 26? Because that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is, sis. What can I tell you? Okay, but okay, can we talk about the text, or for me, the text or the phone call that comes way late, way around about 4:00 Eastern Standard Time, okay, every single day with the question, so what are we eating? What's for dinner? Okay, first of all, I'm working, probably in a meeting, and the last thing I thought about was what's for dinner, because I probably ain't had breakfast yet. Okay, but every day I get this, and my blood pressure goes sky high. I won't tell you who's doing it to me. Hint, 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 hint. I won't say it. But anyway, it's never just that question, okay? The text or the call feels loaded, because you know and I know that, first of all, for my case, my person don't know what they want. They want you to make the decision, so then they can tune up their nose and not really. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you're sitting there. You might as well already have made the decision. Okay, but this is every single day, and so it's like in the morning when you're kind of cognizant, it's okay. But when you're on your way home and I'm still working, and I've been working all day long, the last thing I'm thinking about is. Yeah, exactly. So we have this thing every single day, you know, what's for dinner, and then you tell the person, and the person's like, yeah, okay, or what, chicken again, or you know, those kind of things, you know, and then it gets better. Once they get home and you have made a decision as to what the dinner is going to be, even if they choose the dinner, we don't eat, because we've eaten pizza on the way home. Okay, after all of that. Okay, or no egg sandwich. Okay, it's the fact that we don't even eat after all of that worrying and bugging and this, that, and the third. I'm going to take that for lunch the next day. Well, let me tell you, okay, I'm going to tell you my story. This is what they say. This is what the statistics say. Okay, it's true. Everybody got opinions and solutions and all this stuff. This is why kitchen rhythm matters. I'm going to tell you like this, okay? I am a person, I like to accommodate people. I like to give everybody what they like. But you got to stop the madness at some point. So rotating those meals. Everybody gets a day. You know what I'm saying? Now it's nice and dry. Everybody gets a day. And they get what they want. If you miss your day, that's on you. going to be on you. Okay, starting here, starting now. So this is what I suggest with that. Now they're suggesting, do pre-prepping and stuff like that, which is cool. But that still does not negate the fact that somebody gonna ask you what is for dinner. If it's not him, it's the 16-year-old. Every single, and I get to the point where I'm like, food. That is what's for dinner. Hey mom, what's for dinner? Food. So I suggest if you want to meal prep, do that. But the main thing is to have boundaries, because if you ain't cooking, it's easy to make up all these thoughts in your head. Okay, but when you tired after working all day long, they can eat peanut butter. Okay, without the jelly, maybe a half a slice of bread. Anyway, so I'm gonna get this, and usually, I will stick it inside a baggie and I'll massage it. But because I want to keep my skin intact, I'm gonna do the proper thing, y'all, and I'm going to put a piece of foil on here, and I'm going to season the meat. Okay, so let me get my foil. Let me move my little papers out the way so they don't get messy. Okay, and we will see. We will season the meat. Yes, we will. So let me get some foil, and let's try not. How about this? Let me try not to make a mess. How about that? Let's see how successful I'm going to be. Okay, so I'm going to take this out. And, I forgot to mention to you guys, I have a secret side. So if you hang out, you'll get to find out what it is. And trust and believe, you don't want to miss this secret side, because this is a really good side to go with an indoor or an outdoor cookout. Don't you remember back in the day, for those of you who are around, it's like, this is how it went. People would just stop by your house sometime. You have card games going on. There was house parties, and there was the cookout. You found something to cook out. I don't care what it was. You dug it out and you cooked it out. If you had somewhere to cook out. Shoot, for me, I'm gonna tell you like this. This was after the 7th, and I'm not gonna tell that story. Anyway, I'll keep that to myself. However, because the innocent have to be protected. But let's just say, I always found a way to grill something at some point. And at my house, when we lived in a high-rise apartment in the 70s, okay, so they actually had like a whole area, a barbecue pit area where they had built-in brick ones and stuff, and a picnic area. It was, yes, they had a tennis court, they had an Olympic swimming pool, all of this. This was like a little community. It was called Atlantic Towers. It was it had celebrities living there at that time. We had our own dentist, we had our own doctor, it was called a plaza room where you could have parties and things like that. They had 2 buildings, the east one and the west. We were the east building, it was the west building. And in between the 2 buildings, there was a basketball court. You had 2 playgrounds. You had an Olympic-sized swimming pool. They had a couple of tennis courts. They had, like I said, the picnic area where they had like the outside picnic tables and the brick grill areas where you could grill, because of course you couldn't grill on your terrace or whatever. So you didn't want to do that. So they had these areas here for you, and it built like a little community. We even had our own grocery store, and guess what the name of the grocery store was? And I don't know if they were affiliated back then. Royal Farms was our grocery store. And it sat between the buildings. So that's when everything was all inclusive. So you never even had to leave off that property unless, going to work or school or whatever. But other than that, no, you really didn't. And in my building at that time, if you're familiar with the group BT Express, they lived there. We had some of the Temptations lived there.
Okay, can you give me an idea of what year was this?
I'm trying to think, because I moved in there when I was 6. So that had to be like 69, like late 60s, early 70s, around that time. And that's why I'm telling the story. So yeah, because my brother was born in 68 or 6. Yeah. So yeah, he was 6 years younger than me. So yeah, it had to be the late 60s, early 70s when we moved into that building, and it was just brand new built. And so this was like something kind of innovative that they were like, we're building like communities or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, so it was very, very nice, very, very luxurious. And it had a lot of different celebrities that came in and out, and they lived there. So in any case, now I forgot why I'm telling the story. Because she done got me all discombobulated. Oh, barbecue. That's what it was. So they had the barbecue pit. So I remember I must have been probably about 11 at that point. And of course, I was always a little hostess. I was all, we would go outside early in the morning. I kid you not. And I don't know how the heck that we stayed outside all day long, guys, because there was no AC. It was a luxurious building, but there was no central air or nothing like that. We had a big giant terrace. We were on the 17th floor. There were 24 floors. We were on the 17th floor. And the terrace was probably from one side of my kitchen to the other. That's how big it is. A lot of terraces are small now, but it was big enough so you could put like a patio furniture on it. And believe it or not, I was not afraid of the heights of it. I couldn't go up there now. But I'm going to tell you. So I'm going to put this chicken down. So I'm going to tell you like this. So my mother was always very accommodating when I wanted to experiment and cook. And I guess she's the reason why I am a culinary chemist, because if I wanted a piece of meat, if whatever I wanted, she would let me get it. And from a very small child, when I had the Susie Homemaker cooking set, she would let me take little pieces of food and cook it. Because back then, I guess they didn't childproof stuff, and they made it like realistic stuff. So you could really do that stuff. Hold
on. They gave you a real kitchen?
It was similar to a real kitchen, yes, and the water ran, and I think the little refrigerator got cold.
No!
But the oven, it wasn't like you got the little light bulb or something. The little thing came, no, there was no flame, but it was more like an electric.
Pause. Because I don't know if you remember this, but when I was little, you remember when I used to write
I need a knife because you left a piece of bone in here.
Okay. You remember when I used to write Santa Christmas notes? And I remember one year I had asked for like this little mini kitchen set that had running water and pots and a pan, cooking stuff.
Right.
That worked. I didn't even know that existed. So the fact that y'all had
yes, what happened? Well, what happened is they probably figured out it wasn't good for kids. And what happened to mine was my little sister and brother. Because every single time I had toys that I was a type of child that would keep my toys. So they would be, right now, they would probably be collector's items because I would still have them. Well, I went to school down south in 11th to 12th grade. And when I came back, my pivot pool was jacked up. My toss across original one was jacked. They jacked all my stuff up. But anyway, the little stuff like that when I was younger, because that was before my brother was born, it just kind of went. But in any case, yes, so it was very realistic and had little cast iron pots and skillets and stuff. So it was very realistic. So to make a long story short, so I was about 11, and so we had our little group of friends or whatever, but we would go outside all day long, and we would not come inside because if you come inside, you got to stay. So we would go.
So y'all go out there and have a heat stroke?
Yeah, exactly.
Dehydrated?
We would go out there and have a heat stroke. Yes, we would. And I don't know how we didn't have a heat stroke, but I am telling you, it was probably 110 degrees air day. But we went out at 7 o'clock in the morning, and we didn't come back until somebody was calling us off the terrace. Okay, come on. Well, see, my mother was cool with it. Okay, what I used to do, I used to pack me a little care package. She used to let me pack myself a care package so I could go downstairs and play all day. And if I came upstairs, she would feed me and then let me go back outside. But everybody's parent wasn't like that. Right. So anyway, so that particular day, we decided that we were going to have a barbecue. I think it was it could have been Easter time. That's when it was. It was right after Easter, and I had got this cute little outfit. Oh, I thought you couldn't tell me nothing. I think I was about 11 years old, and I got my first little 3-piece suit, but it was a 3-piece skirt suit, and it had a little vest, and it was like sky blue, and I had a dark blue shirt. It was so cute. You couldn't tell me nothing. So I had my little vest and my skirt on, and I'm playing hostess, and I got all these little neighborhood kids. So I done went up there and raided my mother's refrigerator, and she done let me make hamburgers and all kinds of stuff. I don't even know how I figured out how to light charcoal. There was I don't even know how I got it. I think that back then you could take the soda bottles, like the Coke bottles and stuff, they were big. And they had little ones too. But the bigger ones, you could turn them in for money. And so We drank a lot of soda, I guess, because we always had them and we would wash them out, and my mother would let me take them and get a little pocket change with the soda bottle. So I must have gotten enough to get some charcoal, because I don't think she bought me charcoal because she had no reason to do that, because we didn't grill. We didn't really grill. Right. No, but we didn't really grill. Oh, listen, she gave me the meat. Okay, and they were supposed to be bringing stuff too, but they didn't. And I'm telling so I'm sitting here. So I'm the hostess, and I brought all this stuff out here. And of course, now you got kids swimming in the pool over there that ain't got no food. Oh, big long story short, I figured out how to light that grill. I kid you not. I don't know how I figured out how to light that grill.
Recap. How old you were?
I was about 11.
She's grilling.
I was grilling. So I'm telling you, I lit it. I'm gonna put a little bit of cooking spray on this meat so the seasoning can stick. So I lit it. I know what I'm doing, but I lit it. I figured it out.
You're gonna finish everything.
Listen, back then you had to do it the old-fashioned way with fluid, and you put little pieces of paper in between the charcoal, and you wanted to make sure. But see, the thing about grilling is this: what a lot of people do wrong when they use fluid is they saturate their charcoal and they don't let it burn off. It needs to burn off the fluid, so it needs to start turning white. When it starts turning white, that's when it gets hot. But it's an equilibrium. So you don't let it turn all the way white, because then it won't, it'll go out faster. But you don't let it be black and put your meat on there, or it's going to taste like charcoal fluid. So if you ever had anybody's barbecue that tasted like charcoal fluid, that's because they didn't let the fluid burn off. And they should use match light so they don't have to go through all that. But anyway, I figured it out, and I made hamburgers and I made hot dogs. Tell me how I knew they were done. I don't know they were done. And the kids ate, and everybody thought, and I made potato salad. Can you believe that? Okay, at 11, made this potato salad, and the food was darn good. I was proud of me. Okay, so that was one of my first experiences being a hostess of the mostest to all of the coastess in that place. Wow. Okay, so I got this reputation. So when I turned 13. Okay, that's when I really thought I was grown. Okay, my mother, she just placated all that stuff. She just really did. So I'm going to take a little bit of liquid smoke, and I'm going to put two dots on each one, because that's going to give it that outdoorsy taste. And I'm going to rub it in on this side. And really, I should have put this on first instead of the dry, but it's okay because I'm just going to rub it in. And I didn't put any more dry stuff on here. So let me just get a little bit more in here. And when I finish, I'm going to show you guys. You should always have some of this liquid smoke. I'm telling you, it really is a game changer if you like the taste of grilled foods. And you can't get out there. You don't want to get out there. Okay, and even when you grill your foods, I'm telling you, when you put a little on here, it takes it up to another level. So, when my 13th birthday came, I had a good friend, and her mother was a makeup artist in Macy's department store in New York. And that was like a big thing. She was a fashion fair makeup consultant, and so she would make people's faces up when they went into the department store. And man, in her house there was makeup everywhere. And I've always been intrigued by makeup. I liked it. I couldn't use it, but you know what? At 13, that was my birthday gift. I was able to have a house party with all the friends that I wanted, and I could wear what I wanted to wear because I was a teenager technically. And her birthday gift to me was to give me a little makeup job. Of course, it wasn't a lot of makeup, but to me, it was like everything. And my mother let it happen. And they had these little outfits called damskin dresses. So the dresses were made out of some kind of polyester, but it was almost like they kind of fitted you. They had little ties that came around. You have to look it up, but they're really cute. And mine was like a salmon color, and she did my makeup like that. And then my hair was done, and I was just too grown. So then I invited all of the kids. All the kids always got the benefit of me. It's like I ain't never get the invite. I never got invited nowhere, but I'm always inviting all the kids. Kids ain't kidding about me. But anyway, so now, so I'm gonna put a little bit of Worcestershire sauce on here, just a bit, just a drop. Cause see, you don't want to over season the meat, but I like for my meat to be able to stand alone, or my chicken, or the meat, or whatever I'm doing, to be able to stand alone, even if I don't put anything on it. So anyhow. So I invited these people, and food draws people. So people that might not ordinarily talk to you, because I was never the popular kid. Okay, I was the kid that maybe I had one friend at a time because I wasn't the kid that would follow. So you couldn't get me to do stuff just because you were the leader of the pack. I'd go home and leave you standing there. So that made me not too popular. Coupled with the fact that my father worked 3 jobs, and like I said, he made it where we never really wanted for anything. You know, we didn't look at life the way a lot of people did. You know what I'm saying? We just kind of, my father was the type of person, he worked very, very hard to make sure that his family didn't suffer because he suffered a lot. And that's just it. Okay. He wasn't a rich man. He was a hardworking one. And he made sure that his children didn't feel the pain that he had to feel growing up. And he did a good job of that. Because I tell you, I wouldn't trade my life for anything. For real. But anyway, so, you know, kids how they are. You know, kids are not the nicest thing. They just really aren't. You know, they have to be taught how to be nice. So in any case, but they came up to my house because they wanted to come to a party. They wanted to be fed. You know, they wanted to do what they wanted to do. And so I had a lot of kids there. And then my mother was nice enough to go into the back of the house and let us man ourselves and let me be the hostess. So no chaperone. So we had a real house party. Of course, you know, we had the little boys on one side, little girls on the side. Nobody wouldn't talk to each other. We were just sitting on the side. Girls talking to the girls, boys talking. We were way too young for that. But it was very nice because I felt grown up, you know, and she always made me feel good about myself, even when I didn't all the time, you know, because like I said, everybody wants to be accepted, you know, so she really she did a good job of that. But I will tell you this, I ain't had no business with all that stuff on. I really did, because she let me get, like, I think these espadrille sandals, they must have been this high. So
could you even walk in them?
I couldn't walk in them. I couldn't do nothing. But honey, you couldn't tell me nothing. Okay, you couldn't tell me nothing. And to tell you how good it was for me, I remember every bit of it. Now, did those kids appreciate it? No. Back then, when somebody came to a birthday party, they brought money. So they didn't buy gifts. We would get money in a card. So you get anywhere for 50 cents. If somebody gave you $5, man, you was oh my gosh, $1 was a lot of money. So you sitting there waiting for your birthday to come because, man, little cheap kids ain't give nothing. They gave nothing but their appetites. But I was just so happy I had people there until, you know, I didn't care. But yeah, but you used to look forward to that. And you didn't want to go to someone's birthday party if you didn't have a card with some money in it. Because this is what people expected. It really did. A card with money. I don't know if you guys remember that if you're from back there. You know, but I'm telling you, that was the thing. So you went to the house parties, you went to the birthday parties, and really people measured you by how much money you put in the card. Well, all these things that are coming back to me. But I've always been a little hostess, and I never understood that really that was my forte until about 3 years ago, because it was just part of me. And my children, really my beautiful sisters, like, hey, you should have a cookie. I'm like, listen, child, ain't nobody want to see me cook. Okay, don't nobody cook. Everybody can cook, and everybody can, you know. So I just put onion powder. I'm putting a little bit of rosemary on the chicken. Everybody has the ability to cook. You just have to be fearless enough to do it. I just ain't have enough sense not to. That's the thing. And it just became part of who I am. And I had somebody who allowed me the freedom to soar. Now, on the flip side was my mother, my mother's mother. I don't know how my mother ever learned how to cook, because mother was a gatekeeper. My glasses are sliding, but my hands are dirty. My mother was my great-grandmother, mother, was the gatekeeper of her kitchen. I don't think I ever even poured a cup of water in that kitchen. I'm serious. I'm trying to think back.
I have a question.
Yes.
Was Muddy or
She may have been, but I think my mother was kind of too, and then so am I. But anyway, I'm putting a little bit of pepper on here. And I'm going to do all the same things to the opposite sides of the meat. You never, ever season one side and don't season the other. So the only thing I need to put on here now, because I put the onion powder, I need to find my garlic powder. And I'm sure it's right here, and I don't see it. Oh, it's right there. No, it's in the front. See, these things come in so many different containers. And, you know, I'm not the fancy smancy chef that puts it in the little cups, because that's annoying to me. Because if I have to use more, then I got to put more in another cup. So I'm not trying to do that. Maybe they know how much seasoning they need. I need to season mine until it feels good. Okay, so yeah, so and it didn't feel right in the cup. How about that? Plus, I like to sprinkle because you can get even distribution. And this is what I'm saying. I am you. You are me. Okay. This stuff looks really good and it tastes delicious. But trust me, I haven't been to anyone's culinary school. Okay. I'm not trying to be on any contest. Okay. Someone can tell me that, oh, your sauce is this, that, and the third. That's your opinion. Okay. So you too can do this. You can do this. I know you can. So now I'm going to take some smoky paprika or smoked paprika because this is going to help me get my little char on here. Now, the hack with this is usually you'll take this chicken and you barbecue and you want to put it in the oven. It's going to be 2 steps, but it's going to be 2 quick steps. And you're going to be like, man, I could do this on a weeknight. Trust me. You know, I always got to find y'all the easy way out. So I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to do the same thing. But the first thing I'm going to do this time is I'm going to put the wet ingredients on first. I'm going to spray it with the cooking spray and I'm put the wet ingredients on first, which will make it a little less messy for me, you know, and that's what you can, you know, you can do it the way you want. I try to empower you guys to do things that makes it easier for you because it is easier for you. Guess what? You'll be more motivated to do it. I never had anybody tell me, and I'll be totally honest, my mom could cook, but my mother never ever said to us, here, come over here and watch this and chop this up. She never did that. My mother was straight up a mom. When I tell you that you were a child, you had a childhood, there were no, you got to watch your brother. It wasn't none of that. I don't know how she did it all. She worked a full-time job. She had 4 children. Her house was immaculate. She was at every play, every concert, everything I sang, everything my brother, she was at school. She helped you with your homework. She did. Superwoman. That's all I can say. And I'm not making that up. I don't know how she did it, but she did it. And it was never a situation where the child had to grow up too soon and things like that. Thank God. Okay. Because I am telling you, my mother did all of that stuff. And you always felt, even though she had children of different ages, because my youngest sister is 8 years younger than me. My youngest brother was 6 years younger than me. So each of us had, well, except for the younger 2, they had like 2 years of being the only child. But I had 6 whole years of being the only child just with my mother. My older sister is 8 years older than me. So she was a teenager and she wasn't thinking about me. You know what I'm saying? Even though I idolized her, you know, but I had my mother to myself. And she had this way about her where she could make you feel like you were the only one. I don't know how she did that either. Okay, with 4 children. But she made you feel like you were it and everything, and you never felt like you were missing out or one child was getting more than the other one. Oh, there you go. Look, yeah, making a mess. One child was getting more than any of the other one, or that one child was better, or what? I don't know how she did it. I swear, I wish she was alive to ask the question because I don't know how she did it, and she just did. So, in any case, she always made me or allowed me to explore life and to do things that interest me. And so that's how I found the things that I liked, okay, because she allowed me to explore. She never tried to stifle me. She never tried to dim my light. She never told me what I couldn't do. And my father didn't either. My father was always like, okay, y'all can fly. You know, it's like, you know, when he was finally home, it's like, y'all can fly. You can do whatever. So I'm putting the liquid smoke on a little dot and rubbing that in. And so because that's the way they raised us, that is the way I felt in life, you know, and I didn't know that there were limitations for me. You know, I didn't feel there were any limitations, and I don't ever feel that. And I hope that I pass that on to my children. I did not want my children to feel like they had limitations. Now, like I said, the world can do things to people that your parents try to prevent. That's just the way it is. And some children will absorb it and they will be strong against it. And some children will yield to it and it will penetrate. And you can raise them the same way because there's no books. However, like I said, for my life, she made me, what you see today is a product of my mother and her nurturing nature and my father and his work ethic. And that's why I work and I work and I work and I work and I'm a closer. Okay. It has to be resolved. It may not be resolved the way people want it, but there's going to be an end game always with me. So now I'm going to take a little bit of the Worcestershire sauce and do the same thing. So if you're just coming in, I did this on one side, doing it on the other, and I am making some beautiful, quick, indoor grilled barbecue chicken with homemade barbecue sauce, and you will be the first to have this recipe. Okay, so if you watch this, so I'm going to put a little bit of the low sodium teriyaki sauce on here, just like that, and rub that in, and it's low sodium. So let me put the top back on so I don't make a mess. Yep, there it is. Yeah, I was reading earlier that the professional chefs have everything put in a little bucket or a little bowl. Okay, so it looks professional. Well, you haven't turned to that professional channel. You turned to your kitchen. You turned to your kitchen and mine. Okay, so I never promised you a rose garden. I promised you that you get some good food and you learn how to cook it.
Hey.
Okay, so now I'm going to take my Casey's Blessing, but first I'm going to get rid of this glove. Because look at this. This is nasty. Okay, get rid of that. And somebody told me, a viewer, they said they're looking at my Great Northern Bean video, right? Oh, you should no. It was the neck bones. Well, honey, y'all know I wash my hands until they're raw. But you should have gloves on. You should not handle meat. Miss, it's called wash your hands. Okay, because if you watch very closely at all of the gloved people, they're not only using the gloves with the raw meat, but then they're turning around, they chopping stuff, they picking it up, biting it. I never saw anybody change any gloves. I never saw any hand gloves. Now this may pre-recorded and maybe they did that. So, but you saw me wash my hands a lot. Yeah, along with that meat. So do you, boo? Because I need to be able to feel. Okay, give me something I can feel. Because you can always wash your hands. So I'm going to put some Casey's Blessing. And the Casey's Blessing does not have any sodium or any sugar content in it rather. And actually, I have a few bottles left on my website. That is FLAVAHOUSE.co. The first batch is going out to Maryland residents. They're going to get to try it first. And that has something to do with my love for everyone else. It has to do with the law, because I have a cottage food license right now. Until I can actually generate $50,000 selling these spices or my enhancer, I will have to do it with the cottage food license, which is Maryland only residents. Once I get $50,000 in sales, then I can take it to a bigger plant, and then it could be distributed across the country. So that is the part of story time all over my business, and I did it backwards. Okay, so that is why it's Maryland residents only. I love Maryland residents. I love all of my flavor family. I love you all. But we have to comply to the laws. So if you want to help me get $50,000 right quick, guess what? I know what you can do. So we're going to have a challenge, okay? Tell your friends in Maryland residents, okay? Help the rest of the country get what you have available to you. But I have some people that I'm going to be filling their orders this week, and they promise to give me the reviews and let you know, honest reviews, okay, of what they think about Casey's Blessing. I love it. Everybody who has tasted it loved it. It really enhances the food. And I'm done with the commercial. Okay, that was unintentional. So now I have everything on here except for the rosemary. So I'm going to put a little bit of rosemary on here. And it's just a sprinkle. That's it. I'm not doing any measurements. This is about what you want. You want a lot, put a lot. You want a little, it's no salt, okay? I'm doing some garlic powder, and I'm gonna do some onion powder and a little bit of pepper on that meat. But as you can see, my husband's so funny. He said to me, I was telling him something, and I said, I remember everything, every year of my life. I remember everything from probably since I was about 1 year old. Things that people don't remember, at what am I, 36? Yeah, 36 years old. And I remember, and I was telling him, sometimes it's a curse because sometimes you don't want to remember some stuff. Sometimes you just want to be oblivious. Not this girl. I remember everything in Technicolor. So I'm putting some onion powder on here. And because I remember things in Technicolor and I remember all these things, and people are looking at me, he's like, oh, please stop, because I don't know what you're talking. He remembers some things, but he does, like I said, he's very good at living in the present. I'm very good at nostalgia because I can hear something, smell something, or see something, and it'll take me right back to it. And I remember it, I just do. And so it's a good thing for me because I have a lot of good memories. So now that we have all of these, and I'm going to now put another glove on. Yep. And I'm going to lift this up to you and let you see what it looks like. So I have two gloves. Ooh, okay. So let's get this in here. Boy, family, you guys are real quiet. Lift every voice and talk. Yeah. Anyway, so this is what you want it to look like. Okay. If you want to keep the bone in, do that. This will cook faster. Trust me. So I can put this in the oven right now and let it do its thing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to mostly cook it on top of this stove. And then when it's done, I'm going to hit it inside the oven and let it get that nice little char on it. You see what I'm saying? But trust the process. So let me get this over here. Just like that. Okay, let's see. I guess I'll put it here. All right. And then I'm going to clean this mess up over this. Here's the thing I hate. When I get to sprinkling stuff, yeah, then I have a mess. Okay, so yeah, beautiful sister, if you can handle that for me, that's nice. Let me take this glove off. And I will get some more because I gotta touch this over here. Yeah, I just need the little crumbs off there, and I'm gonna take a swig of this.
Excuse me, more.
It's real refreshing.
It is very nice.
It's real refreshing.
I've been really liking the drinks. It's very refreshing, cool, and very seasoned.
And I think I'm going to put my drink over here. So yeah. So what I'm going to do is I am going to bring my gloves over this way, and I am going to pass me the cooking spray, and I need a little bit of oil, and it can be olive oil. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Now I'm going to use my cast iron skillet. I have my Big Bubba out here, but I don't think I'm going to use Big Bubba. I think I can get this chicken. Yeah, I'm going to use Big Bubba, even if I have to do two rounds, because the chicken is pretty flat. So I need it to lay out flat. Mm-hmm. So I may have to do 2 rounds. I'm sorry?
Did I cut it good?
No, you did a good job. You didn't butcher it at all. Now all I need, I need 2 paper plates. Okay. She did a good job, y'all. Give beautiful assistant some hearts. She didn't Jason it, y'all. Give beautiful assistant a round of hearts.
Yahoo!
Okay. That's an accomplishment.
No, because I'm not, whatever.
Okay, then give me a round of hearts. Listen, thank you, y'all.
That's an accomplishment. I haven't done that in a long time.
Listen, if I had 2 pictures of that poor little bird.
Hold on now, because that one bird was that little struggle turkey.
Nah, it's not.
That's you struggled with it.
No, I'm not talking about the struggle turkey. I'm talking about the Cornish hens that was supposed to be spatchcocking. No, I didn't need her to spatchcock. I just need them in halves and quarters, and then they came in here and they were doing this. They were like, I couldn't. I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, what did she do to you guys? So yeah. So let me turn this. Oh boy, let me turn this on. So I'm gonna turn it on to 7, but I'm gonna be prepared this time, y'all, because I'm gonna put my little screen on here. Let me pull my little chair over here, and I'm not gonna put the oil in until this gets hot, because like I said, olive oil really can't stand the heat. It can't stand the heat, y'all. Can't stand it. So, yeah. And while I do that, I'm going to give y'all the opportunity again to tell me something good. Something good that's happened to you this week, this month, this year, your life. Or I get to choose. So y'all got 2 minutes to make your fingers work in that chat or over here. Or I get to choose. Okay? And I'm going to choose a good one. I already got it. I pre-planned this. Okay? Because I already know. Because I already know how y'all gonna do it, sister. Okay, y'all gonna sit there and act like y'all know what I'm talking about. There's something, and if I'm gonna have to. My grandmother used to watch, and I can finish the story about Monday, but I'll tell you later. She used to watch. I think it was Oral Roberts. It was like Joel Osteen, one of those spiritual pastors or whatever back in the days. And I remember they had this song. Something good is going to happen to you this very day. So, think hard, think long and hard. The simplest thing could be the good thing that happened to you. We tend to think it has to be something that's monumental, that's earth-shattering. But you know what? When I take that black thing off my eyes so I don't have to see all the light that Bill Master puts on me at 1 o'clock in the morning when he getting ready, and I see the sun, hey, that was a good day. Because you know what? You get with so many summers, you get with so many winters, and then there are no more. So I'm going to say it like this. I woke up this morning. Well, I never went to sleep, but I know. Let me turn this on. Okay, let's turn this on. I woke up this morning. I did doze in the chair, y'all. Okay, let me turn it down a little. Now I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put just probably 2 tablespoonfuls of, and I was going to use bacon fat, but I'm not. Okay, I did bacon fat yesterday, so I'm going to put some olive oil in here. So y'all can stop saying, oh, God, her cholesterol level's going to be off the Richter scale. Okay. No. You know, so, but contrary to popular belief, listen, y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see. Okay. But, yeah. So, let's see. That's nice and hot. So, I need it to be hot enough to give me a nice sear. And see, that really ain't hot enough. So, I'm taking it up. I had to take it down. Let me take it up to 7. And I'm not going to crowd the pan. That's what I'm going to do. So, I'm going to get 3 in here. So, I'll do 3 and 3. So, it's going to be 2 batches. Because they're nice and flat. Now, if they were boned in, then I could get them all in. But I don't care, because guess what? We're going to do this right way. Let me wash my hands. Okay, get that all nice and clean. Like that. Okay. Let me get this out up here. Oh, you want to wash that up? No, I just want to get this debris out of here. Yeah. Let me wipe that off, because I can't stand to see something. So that's just the way that is. Let me get that over here. I had a couple of pieces of meat, that I trimmed off of here, and I need to get it out. So let me get this out and then wash my hands again because I touched this. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm constantly washing stuff. So whoever was complaining, I wonder if they wash their hands as much. I can't hear you.
I said, I'm going to need you to go ahead and make the obviously clean diva move already.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. That's the one thing. Like I said, I can sew like a sewing machine by hand. But I cannot figure out how to thread a bobbin. My older sister is the sewer on the sewing machine. I can sew something by hand just like you think it came out of a shop somewhere. Okay? I have sewn whole dresses by hand. But I can't do it on the sewing machine. I guess I could if I really put my mind to it, but it's like, I'll sew it. Making it right is easier for me. So let me see if I can see this fork is too big. Okay, so turn that over, just like that. And I want to try to keep the skin intact. That's why I'm trying to be really intentional about this. Because, you know, once you debone it, then the skin just kind of want to do its own little thing. Okay, did that in there. But anyway, so what was I telling y'all about Monday? I was saying something about her. Trying to think. Well, let's get back to, because my beautiful sister said her great grandmother was OCD. I don't know if she was OCD, but I know she was ultra clean, and so she would not let you in her kitchen. And that woman could cook. She was really a good Southern cook, but then she varied too. I told you about that spaghetti that she made. She could beat any Italian mother hands down, and I will stand 10 toes deep with that. That spaghetti sauce cooked all day, and then she only made enough just for dinner. So it's like I never got enough. But let me take this down. She would not let you in her kitchen. She really would. I don't, and I'll be totally honest. And I went to 11th and 12th grade down there and lived with her. And I don't remember ever fixing a plate. I don't remember ever going and making a sandwich. I don't remember any of that. It was like she was like boss baby. She was like boss baby in the kitchen. It was like wherever you were, with Phil's food, she was there.
Wait, so did you ever wake up like at midnight?
Nah, it wasn't like that. I don't remember eating in the middle of the night. I don't remember that. I really don't. Because it probably wasn't letting me eat because my grandmother, now that I found out why she was like that, is because she had a big family to feed, so they had just enough. So the next day they couldn't do food. So she wasn't accustomed to cooking and having, and she didn't like leftovers. But she didn't ask me if I liked them, you know, because it was good. So I never knew the story until here recently, and I'm turning it again, when my older sister explained to me what this dynamic was. She did not eat leftovers. Excuse me, I call them royal remainders. Because, honey, when you can cook like that, that stuff commands attention. Okay, plain and simple. Okay, and it ain't leftover. It is royal. It is royalty. So she used to make these biscuits. And so when you live in Alabama, when you live in that area, and you're coming from New York, you know, the food, I guess, is fresher because it's coming right from there. And so everything tastes different. The chicken, and then she would grow her own vegetables, collard greens, and all kinds of stuff in her backyard. But the meat and stuff was so, the chicken and stuff was just, everything was so delicious. And she would get these red hot sausages. And she would make these homemade biscuits. And how the heck she did this every morning before I got out there to school, before 8 o'clock. But she would have them doggone biscuits. And when I tell you, as I walked out the door, the biscuits were floating behind me. That's how light, that's how airy, that's how everything was made from scratch. She didn't have any like Jiffy corn mixer. She made her cornbread from scratch. Now, I wasn't that keen on like the cornbread because she made like real cornbread. I like my cornbread to taste a little sweet, you know, because I'm from New York and my mother used Jiffy and Flako. But she used to make these hoe cakes. And hoe cakes are like, they're like little cornbreads, but they make them, they look like pancakes. So you can make them small or you can make a big giant pan. And she would make a big giant hoe cake in her cast iron skillet. Tell me how she was able to lift this thing and flip that whole cake over onto the plate. And see, y'all got me off an awesome subject because nobody answered my question. Yeah. So that's okay because I decided.
No, I didn't get a chance.
Okay, what you got? What you got?
You gotta give me another chance.
You done have 5 or 6 minutes because I done talked with you. So oh well. So now this is what we're gonna talk about anything about today. Since we are on the subject of the 70s, I need to know, for those of you who are around for it, do you remember what you were wearing or the kind of clothes you wore? Do you remember what was happening during that time? Was it good for you? I remember a whole lot of stuff that I could compare. For those of you youngins who don't know nothing about that stuff, you do know about some of it because some of it you're replicating now. Okay, and I'll just say, we did it better. Okay, I'm just saying, y'all say what you want. Dispute me if you dare. Okay, so one of the things is this, and I think I talked about this to you guys before. I think it was just last week, not here on this show, but I think it was on my other show. I was talking about telephones. and how everybody has a cell phone these days. Everywhere you go, someone can talk to you. They can trace your whereabouts. You know, there's really no anonymity, no privacy. Well, me coming up, you had a phone, all right, but you had a phone that was attached to some wall, usually a wall that was like facing something, and it had a wire that ran down the wall and it was stapled around the wall into a little box. So you could not pick your phone up and walk away with it. So then they came out with these 100-foot cords. And then you had this long cord that you thought you was bad then because now you're walking around. Okay, so one or two things would happen. If you had teenagers in your house and they had a phone, but see, everybody didn't have phones. If they had a phone and your friend had a phone, you get on the phone, you want to take the marathon talks, nobody else could get a phone call. So your line would be perpetually busy all the time. I don't know if you know, you young people know what a busy signal is. It goes bonk, 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 just like that. So when you call, that's the sound you would get. Bonk, bonk, bonk. And it's annoying to the adults because they over there at a payphone with a, back then it was dime, and then it was 15 cents, then it was 25 cents, and then that you got some talking doing on that, Lucy. But that's how your parents had to connect to you if you were at home and you were the child that the parents worked late, you know, and they call them latchkey kids and stuff. So your parents would talk to you that way. If they couldn't get you on their phone and you sitting up there and you supposed to be doing your homework and you on that doggone phone and they keep hearing bomb, bomb, you know. But nowadays you guys can fake it till you make it. You can tell them whatever because you got your little cell phone, okay? And now you little kids got your own little secret language or your secret app where your real stuff is on that app and the stuff you want your mama to see is on another one, okay? So I say this to all you parents. You need to be technology savvy because your kids is trying to blow smoke. Okay. Anyway, so I'm cooking it again, and this is getting done, y'all. And I'm cooking it slower. Now, so I say this to say, so back then, because we didn't have that connection, we didn't really give a rip. You know, we didn't care. When we went out the house, we didn't think, oh, we can't talk to you every minute of the day. We didn't flip out because we didn't have our phone with us in school and somebody had to take it away. We didn't do any of that. We went along our lives and we were out for 20 hours. When we came home, we talked to you. Novel idea, huh? Okay, that's what we did. We sure did. And if you had some change, but there were pay phones everywhere then. They started taking them away systematically because of whatever reason. However, back then, they had the pay phones, and if you really want to call somebody, you call them on the phone, the pay phone, and hopefully you would get through because the line wasn't busy. Then I think many years later, and I have to look it up, and you guys can look it up when they started doing call waiting. But I think there was an extra fee on the telephone bill. So just to have the regular, like, because they used in New York, they had local usage that you paid for, and then they had long distance. So if you called outside of New York State or New York, the 5 boroughs, if you called to Jersey or whatever, that was considered long distance. So that was a separate part of your bill. Some people just had local usage, so they didn't pay for the long distance. And everything that you had to be paid for separately. So when they came up with all these different features like call waiting, you had to pay extra. So that you You said the 1960s and 70s?
Yeah, by bell line.
Right. So we didn't have no call waiting when we first got a phone, okay? We had to get up to that. But we got it at some point, probably the 70s. Late 70s, probably. But anyway, so like I said, until then, that was the way it was. And a lot of people didn't even have phones. Like one person may have a phone and they gave that person's telephone number out to everybody. If you had an interview or whatever, and somebody that you knew or a family member had a phone, you get that number on your resume. And you hope somebody answer that phone. Okay? Huh? Oh, yeah, we had phone books. We sure did. Now, the phone book was something that little pranky kids were bad. Okay? So they would get the phone book right, some of these little pranky kids, and they would go down the line just calling people's house and hanging up. Little mischievous things like that, you know? So, yeah, just all kinds of stuff. But I say this to say that was one thing. Okay, then we talk about the cheapness of goodies. Oh boy, you could have had yourself a goodie coma. Because I'm here to tell you, my father, like I told you, my father worked 3 jobs. So he would give me $5 every single week for an allowance. Tell me what I needed $5 for, okay? But $5 back then, somebody looked up how much $5 was. What was I? At 10. So 62, I was born. So 10 years from 62 would be what? 72. So in 1972, I want you to look up how much $5 was worth in 1972. Let me give you something to drink. This chicken smells good just like this, y'all. Okay, she's looking up to see.
It says about 39.83 today.
Okay, so.
Almost 40.
Okay, so check it out, right?
You don't got a job.
Check it out. Now, I wasn't doing much of nothing. I wasn't doing nothing. There was people that was getting paid $30 a week of salary.
I got a job.
Okay, my father handed me $5. And now I understand why I couldn't spend it all. Because he handed me $5, y'all, every single week. So he handed me $5, and me and my crazy tail, now I'm in the other school that I told you I went to. They had the radio show and stuff like that, intellectually gifted school and stuff, had those classes. So, of course, like I said, I wasn't a popular kid. I became popular once they figured out I could sing. Then I was more popular. But I was more popular with the old people than the young people. But anyway, so I took the $5 with me to school. And then I stopped at the camp. First, I stopped at the deli. They had a deli on the corner of where I lived. And it was a Jewish deli. And so they had kosher food. And they had bagels and cream cheese. Well, my music teacher, Florence Berkowitz, was Jewish. She was 25 years old. And every day she would bring in a cup of coffee. And she would have her bagel and cream cheese. Of course, because I loved her, I wanted to try it. Somebody saying something in the chat, I can't see.
Auntie Teresa, she said I haven't had a phone book down here in South Carolina in a long time. In the last book that I had received, had 50 pages. The last book she received had 50 pages.
Wow.
So because the world is now digital.
Yeah, they do have phone. I don't know if they have phone books online.
They do have something like similar.
But I think that you can request not to be in the phone book now, because I think I requested that. You can request not to be part of that list. But anyway, so I got the bagels with cream cheese. I bought maybe like 5 or 6 bagels with cream cheese. Because I bought her one. I bought the art teacher one. I bought me one. I think I bought 2 little kids one. I took that to school. So lunchtime came. I went around. I bought a whole pizza. And pizza pies were big back then. I mean, like here, they rip you off and you spend all this $100. And with these little pieces, in New York, you get real big pizzas, big giant slices. You can buy a slice. So I bought a big giant pizza that could probably feed about 13 people. I bought the pizza. I went over to Kentucky Fried Chicken. I bought a bucket of chicken. I went to McDonald's. I bought burgers. I went to the candy store and bought all kinds of cookies and candy. I could not spend this freaking money. Now I know why I couldn't spend it. Because it was worth $34. I even went to the sneaker store. Because back then they had 2 types of sneakers. They had Converse, which was the rage for the basketball players. And then they had these other ones that were a little higher price called Pro Kids. And they were $10. I think, no, they weren't $10. They were like $2 or something like that, whatever they were. But I was able to get a pair of sneakers too. And I still had change. So then I put the rest of it, because they had these little bank accounts, savings accounts that you could do in school. And I put the rest of it. But I couldn't spend all that money. So now I see why when people had birthday parties, they was like fiending for you to put $1 in a card. And if you put $5, it was like you was their friend for life. Because that was $34. Wow. My father was generous, wasn't he?
Every week, though.
Every week. Every week. Every week, like I had a job, that was a paycheck. But I'm gonna tell you, I was a kid. I used to like to do stuff like that. It made me look like I was an adult. So I would clean the bathroom, or I used to like to polish the furniture because my father was real big on having the furniture polished, and then we did that was like weekly things. We would polish furniture, and we had mahogany cabinets in the kitchen and stuff, and so I would polish them and do stuff like that, without being told, and so he just, like I said, it was just my father's way because, like I said, he had a rough childhood, and he was trying to make sure I wasn't rough. Okay, and yeah, I couldn't spend it all. Nowadays, $5, please. $5 is like a feather. It really is. So let me take this out.
Hey, that one bag of chips.
Exactly. But I remember when I know they got Wise potato chips again now, but Wise potato chips were like 5 cents.
I remember one. Man.
They got them back in the store now, but they ain't 5 cents.
I had a flashback to somebody like, I'm sure it's not 70s. Did y'all have do you remember having the 3D Doritos?
The who?
Remember 3D Doritos?
Oh, child, that was your time. That wasn't mine. We didn't even have no Doritos back then. I don't even think they had Doritos. I'm going to turn this up because the heat has come down, and I'm putting in the second batch. Okay, I'm trying to get this other batch to get a little more firm. I'll put that over there. I'll put 2 of these in here. But I'm not touching. I'm trying to use the fork to do it. But I probably will have to use my hand. Nope, I was able to get it in. So let me get that over here. But I'm going to have to bring the heat up, y'all, because it went way down. We'll get that over there. So this will cook a little slower. And once I do that, then I'm going to get over here and make the sauce. And then I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. How this can be done right here on top of the stove. Okay, so let's get rid of this oil. But yeah, my father hooked me up. He sure did. That's how he rolled. But that was something back then. Money went a long way. Also, it was more community-based. And what I'm saying is this. Like, kids don't really go outside anymore. They stay inside the house. They do their video games and stuff. We ain't have no doggone video game. Okay? Not when I was growing up, they didn't have no video games. They had them when my brother was like a little kid. When we moved to Queens, they had Atari, and Pong and stuff like that. They had stuff like in the arcade. You would go to an arcade, but it was like basic stuff.
So they ain't have like a whole thing.
They didn't have nothing that would keep these people's attention like they got their attention now, but they don't want to talk, they don't want to walk, they don't want to do nothing. So this is what it looks like, and it's almost done. Okay, so we're going to sit it here. Now I'm going to put it back over here. Okay, and it's almost done, but I don't want it to get all the way done because I need to cook it with the barbecue sauce too. So I'm going to bring this heat back up to 8 because I need for this to get this oil to get hotter. Yeah, because I want the skin to be a little crisper than this. Okay, so let's get that over here. But it's nice and soft and tender and juicy. Yes, it is. Look at that. If you can see from there. Okay. Let me just drip. The drip. And get that over here, just like that. Put that on here. Yep, the nibbly bits. So yeah, I say more community-based, and why I say that is this. So because like I told you, we stayed outside all day long. I lived on the 17th floor. So if something went down, how fast you think my mama could get to me? Not. Okay, if I got hurt, somebody came after me, somebody tried to bully me, somebody did whatever, she would have to jump off the terrace and bungee jump, which she probably would have done. But she couldn't get to me. But guess what? There was never ever the fear of any mother in my building of something happening to their kid. Now, they may have been naive and stupid, okay? But luckily, nothing did because every mama was your mama. And I say that to say every mother, every parent looked out for the other person's kid. So if you have parents down on the first floor level, they sitting on their terrace, they watching all the kids. Okay, they see something go down, they're gonna go and stop it. They're gonna take it to your mama. If your mama ain't home, they're gonna hold you till your mama get home. Okay, and you gonna get it from them, and you gonna get it from your mom. So these days, people will sit by and watch you bleed out, and they will record it on their phone, and it will be on social media, and they will not say one word to your mama or nobody else, and they ain't telling nobody. So that's the difference back then. You felt a sense of belonging, a certain sense of protection. And it may have been a very naive way of thinking, but like I said, for the most part, it worked. Okay, because people had a community-based mindset. I will say this, and I am on social media. And like I said, it took me a long time to even get to this place. And this is the best way in order for me to reach people in a wide way. Well, as much as YouTube will let me get out and reach people. They still trying to hold something down. But I never thought about it that way. I guess if I hadn't thought about this during COVID, I'd be Tabitha Brown Rich right now. Who knows? However, it never really appealed to me because I come from a place where human contact and communication is something that I'm used to. So the typing, the texting, the emojis, see, that's a life I have to learn. And I'm learning that life because that keeps me relevant in this time. Do I prefer that life? Not necessarily. Okay. Do I wish that people who didn't experience what I've experienced had to have the opportunity to do it? Yes, because that makes you have options. Because if everything shuts down, guess what? Casey knows how to sign her name. Casey doesn't just scribble. Okay. Casey can live without a cell phone because Casey didn't have one. Guess what? Casey can live without the remote because I can get up if I can find whatever button on these newfangled televisions, turn them on. Okay, I can press the button. That's another thing. We had money to have televisions in every room, okay, but we didn't care because we spent more time outside using our imaginations, interacting with people. Now, even in my house, there's a TV in every freaking room, okay? Everybody has electronic. Everybody has this, that, and the third. In my house, and I'm going to tell you, we watched all of the programs, but they were age appropriate. We would watch them together. There was never a fight about, oh, you watching this, that, or whatever. It was like we just watched stuff, and then we didn't. And the adults watched what the adults watched. And I know there were a lot of movies, like those 70s movies, like Foxy Brown and stuff like that. And back then, Bill Cosby and other comedians, they had like record albums because they were really raunchy. So your parents listened to that stuff, but you didn't get to listen to it. You know, so you may say, oh, that's old fashioned, that's old school. But you know what? I'm going to tell you. In your life, when you're born, you get 18 good years to be a kid. And when that's over, reality sets in and you got to be a grown up until you're no more. You see how many years that is versus you being carefree and being a kid. And you sit up and you rush that. And society rushes that for you. We got forever in the rest of our lives to be grown-ups and to be burdened with worries and all the dynamics that grown-ups have to face. Okay? We need to nurture the childhood. We need to let our children grow. Okay? We need not to expose them to everything they don't need to know. Because I'm here to tell you, it didn't hurt me not one bit not to see an unclothed body on television. When they showed a underwear commercial, it was a black silhouette with the underwear on it, and guess what? They sold just as many of them. Okay? Didn't nobody care that every single movie you turned on, I was telling my husband last night, you know what? I don't need to see an adult relationship the first 5 minutes of every movie I turn on. Because sometimes I'm sitting here with my kids, and guess what? I don't want to have to sit there with the remote control for fear something's going to come on that they shouldn't see at 8 o'clock at night. or in the broad daylight, okay, then I got to sit and try to explain to them, because you know what? They don't need to know everything right now. There are age-appropriate things that I need to say, and I need to be able to say it to them without it being introduced to them without my authority. So I don't think that it's important that I know that every movie has to have that kind of dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we know life. We know people have relationships. We know all those things. You know, but every single, can I get some content? Can somebody decide to write something, a screenplay with some content instead of fillers? Because that is what that is. That's lazy writing. That's fillers. Okay, and I ain't signed no paper nowhere saying that I need to see that every single time I turn on TV. There are stations for that if that's what you want to do to fulfill your life. That's just me, and that's not old school. That's mama, plain and simple. Because I'm gonna tell you, when you don't learn things the right way, it twists you and it jades you and it confuses you because your mind is not ready to accept those things. You may see those things, but how you ingest it and how you relate to it and how you put it out in the world is going to be affected by the age of your brain. And it is a proven fact that your brain is not fully mature to what, 21, 25, something like that? Okay, something like that. It's in the 20s. It's in the 20s. So if you're around here seeing stuff that you shouldn't see and you trying to figure it out in your head and then you have no one to explain it to you, that's a problem. It's a problem. And I'm not about censoring anything, but I'm about things being age appropriate. I really am. And that's where parents come in. Unfortunately, we have to be everywhere because nobody's doing it for us. We got to be everywhere and make sure that if our children do see stuff, that we can explain it to them in a way that they can ingest the information and move forward. But most kids don't want to know all that crap. They really don't. You're not sitting here, oh, let me find this out, let me find that out. But they can go to the internet and learn anything they want. They don't really want to burden themselves with this kind of stuff. And we condone it in everything we see, okay? Everything we do. And yeah, they had raunchy stuff when I was growing up, because as I'm listening to some of the lyrics, some of the songs that I like or whatever, but it was so metaphoric until as a child, it was like, you liked the music, it was nice, you took from it certain things, like it was a love song or whatever, but you didn't know the relationship dynamics. You didn't know the deeper part, and that's why I'm in love with the recipe. I dive deep into what those lyrics could really mean, and not just the surface stuff, because some of that stuff is toxic. It really is. So, let's see. I turned it down a bit because it was cooking a little bit too fast. And I'm gonna flip it again. But this one is getting a nice little char on it. I like this, and that's what I tell you guys with the cast iron skillets. Once they get the heating up, they get really heated. They get mad. They be like, danger! So yeah. So this is what you guys get when you don't come up with your own topics. You get to listen to me and go on about how great it was. Now, another thing is this. You guys, I guess you probably saw wearing your hair natural and stuff like that. Let me tell you what an afro was back when I was a kid. An afro had to be perfectly coiffed. So we used to do things like take a headscarf and we would pick our hair out. First of all, we would probably go, if we really wanted to coif, we would go to the barber and get everything evened off. And then we would get a headscarf and we would put it over it so we could make sure every piece of hair was padded and it was rounded. Now, some people didn't do that. Some people look like they rolled up out of bed. But for the people who were really interested in having their afro tight, they did that, or they would have the curly afro. And so what we would do, we would get paper bags and we would wet the paper, take it into strips, wet it so you could kind of roll it and roll your hair up in it. And it would make your natural hair curly, and you would pick it out if you didn't have naturally curly hair. But we did all those things to make it cute. We didn't act like it was going this way and we had bed hair, or whatever some of these hairs I be seeing be going on around here, looking like they sprouted something. Okay, if you're going to wear your hair natural, make your crown beautiful. You know, make your crown beautiful. Let it be luxurious. Let it shine. You know, let it be free and beautiful. Why would you want it to be all knotted up? Okay, and yeah. So think about that. When we did cornrows and stuff like that, they were elaborate stuff. Now you guys are coming back to it. Braiding your hair, going this way, putting the beads on. Honey, that's old stuff. My mama did that to me every day. She had intricate styles, had bridges going across, and all kinds of stuff. Okay? It's called imitation. And I feel you because it's good. It was really nice. Okay? But I'm here to tell you, been there, done it, all of it. People wear, you know, lace fronts and hair weaves and all kinds of stuff. Ain't nothing wrong with that, honey. They wore a plethora of wigs back in the day. But the difference is, when they wore wigs, they took their real hand, combed it into it. The purpose of wearing the wig was for it not to look like one. I see people where you see the stocking cap underneath it, that the lace front is sitting up there where the glue is coming off, and they still wearing it. Hey, Venetia, how are you? So, I say this to say, yes, if imitation is something that you want to do, you need to do it the right way. And I'm not saying everybody is not doing it the right way. However, don't get it twisted and think that you created this, because That's why they came up with the word sampling. That's why they have so many people in the courts suing each other about the three chords that they stole to sample to make their song, or that they think sounds the same. When I was coming up, Lil Stevie made songs, hundreds of songs Lil Stevie made, until he's old Stevie now. And none of the songs sounds like anything that anyone else ever had. Yes, we used to roll, that's right, with paper bags, or we would tear pieces of material, we sure would, and roll our hair up, and it'd be beautiful. Yes. And I'm going to tell you like this, and most girls knew how to do their hair. So going to the beauty parlor, we used to call it, was a treat. That was something you did, you know, you did or you didn't. Most mothers knew how to comb their girls' hair, and most girls grew up knowing how to comb their hair. Okay? Nobody gets into this head but me, to this day. Me. Because that's something I learned. It's not something you have to do. Yeah, you may want to be pampered. But let me tell you something. COVID come around, everybody's sitting here with crawdads for toes, no fingernails, hair still on top of their head, because nobody knew how to do anything. My hair was done, so were my nails. So I'm just saying, as we evolve, we should not lose the things that make us self-sufficient. And that's what the 70s and the 60s, and I'll even deign to say some of the 80s, it started going left, you know, the more technology. But I will tell you, because, let me see, Microsoft Office, Microsoft Word, there was no Microsoft Office, because Bugle System was born in 1990. So I think that they had Microsoft Word. That was it. That was the first program I learned. And once you learn Word, that's like the mothership of everything else that you build on. I worked in an IT department. And during that time, they had motherboards and stuff in the computer. So like now, you got these, you still have that. But I learned how to install stuff like that. And they had AS400s, I think that's what they call them. And computers, big computers, computer rooms. But they didn't have cell phones. They had something that came out that year or the year after called a Palm Pilot. And you can look that up. And that was it looks like a little organizer, but it was electronic. Then they came out with beepers. Oh, you thought you was all, and there's something, they did have a form of a cell phone, but that thing was like a truck. And it was very expensive. A lot of people did not have them. I don't know how well they worked. I'm taking all this out. I don't know how well the cell phones work, you know, but they look like, put it this way, a cell phone was probably as big as, oh my goodness, let me find something, how big it was. Probably, okay, you see the size of this paper towel? Probably as big as this, and as bulky as that. And it had this big old thing here like that. And everybody didn't have it. So you weren't sticking it in your pockets. You weren't hiding it. You weren't doing none of that. And it was very few people, and I think it worked from your car or something like that. My sister Pam is not here tonight. She could tell you because she was one of the ones that had one of them cell phones. Okay, but we finally got beepers. So the beeper thing was you would call the beeper service, and I guess they would transmit the signal to the beeper. And it would have like a little code. You would have different codes to identify stuff. Okay, so that's where the payphones were really important. But of course, criminal activity got involved with it, and they slowly started getting rid of the payphones because they found that criminal activity was easier to be had with them having the payphones because you couldn't trace the calls. So that's where payphones start going away, like in New York. I don't know about nowhere else. Okay, but yeah. So I'm getting my nibbly bits out here, just like that. And like I said, so now I do need beautiful assistant because I want to use the skillet again. So I can put the barbecue part, but I'm going to show you guys. This is right here is done. It's pretty much done. It's very close to done, but I don't want it to be all the way done. And I'm going to let it sit open because I don't want it to cook anymore. So let me sit it over here. Let me get this off. Beautiful assistant can get this clean for me. And then I'm going to make up the barbecue sauce so you guys can see. And then we're going to put it back on, finish it off. And we're going to have our nice smoky barbecue for our indoor barbecue. Let me just get that all cleaned off there. Just like that. Let me get my gloves. And this is how you can use olive oil, because you see the olive oil didn't over smoke, but you have to put it in once the skillet is hot. And you have to watch it. So if you don't want to watch stuff, don't use it. That's all I can tell you. Okay, if you can push my chair back over there. Okay, and I'm going to sit here. And then, yeah. So, yeah. That's my talk about that. See, the 70s, I had to really think about it because, I just have all these memories. But I will tell you, they were very good years. Anybody out there that knows what I'm talking about, hey, you don't have to say it. Put it in the comments. If you rewatch this, tell me what your 70s experience was, or if you had one, or what do you think that the new age stuff is better, or do you wish that you knew some of the stuff or experienced some of the stuff that we experienced, even the music. I'm going to even get down to, because like I said, boy, I had a whole soliloquy on this, because I'm like, as I thought about it, it was everything. It was really everything. So, even the music. Okay, so we talked about, if you looked at my short, I did a song with this short for this 70s nostalgia for this show called Ain't No Stoppin Us Now. Written by McFadden and Whitehead. They were out of Philadelphia record label, okay? And the song was very popular back then, very popular dancing, very popular in house parties, very popular. And if you never heard it before, you want to go on YouTube because they got all of these songs. But basically the song is, ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. And it's really, really good. Nice lyrics. So I used that. I don't know. It was hitting pretty good when I looked last. Okay. Also, they had a group called, and correct me 26-year-old sister. Okay. Let me think. I think they were called Taste of Honey. Now, they were the 70s, and they made a song called, and it was a disco song, and it was really popular. They were two women, and they played the bass guitar and I think the lead guitar. So that was something like, you didn't see women playing guitars. And so they made the song called Boogie, Oogie, Oogie. And I know you're like, Boogie, Oogie, Oogie, how corny. Nah, the song was tight. I told beautiful sister she would have to sing it. But then when I told her to sing it, she started looking like Elaine on she started looking like Elaine on Seinfeld.
I know exactly what
if you never see, and if you never see that, you want to, oh my God, if you want to bust a gut laughing, That is probably the funniest episode that I've ever seen ever in life when this woman is trying to dance. But yeah, that's what she did. So I told her she would have to sing it. But I don't know. But anyway, so that was a real popular song in the 70s. What else did they have? They had Love Train by the OJs, Earth, Wind, and Fire, of course. Come on. Everything they touch. September. Do you remember? What's the Taste of Honey? Right. They made that. What else did they make, Teresa? They made Boogie, Oogie, Oogie, and they made another song that was popular too. And I can't. Oh, I know what it was. What was it called? Oh, I can't think of the name of the song, but it went something. It's all because of you. I'm something sad. You went away. And once again, it's a lonely day. But in reality, our love will never be. Because you took your love. What is the name of that? Sukiyaki. That's the name of the song. Sukiyaki. Now, why it was called Sukiyaki, I don't know. But it had like Asian, I guess, instruments to them, string instruments. And so that was very popular. It's the two songs I remember that they made. So it was kind of like a ballad, and it was that, The Taste of Honey. And that song was very popular. Get down, boogie, oogie, oogie, get down. So, yep. You said, yes, they might have been over the country when they made. I don't know. They may have been, but I remember that song, and it was really good. And then Boogie, I liked it. Had a good rhythm beat because that was like transitioning from like soul music to disco music. That was before you really got that deep down beat. When a Soul to Soul came out, they started that real hard rhythm bass beat, and that was really popular during that time. But for Taste of Honey, a lot of things was more treble than it was bass, and so they had a good beat in the beginning of the song, and so it was a nice song. It's just like with Sheep. Okay, that made Le Freak, that song, and also Good Times. The original song that they made was Good Times, and like I told you, Rapper's Delight was sang or rapped over Good Times. That's what they did. And then they had another song that they did a rap over, and I'm trying to think. It wasn't Ring My Bell. It was. Oh, I remember. Teresa, do you remember? And I don't know who made this song, but they made a rap. Heartbeat, you make me feel so weak. Do you remember that? There's nothing I won't do. Anything you want me to. Can't keep my hands off you. And then they had a rap song over it. There was a Giant 45. And who made that song? I can't remember who made the song. But anyway, so yeah. Child Police, they had all kinds of songs. Brick House, the Commodores, they had a lot of band-like groups, and the groups played their own instruments. So you didn't have all this electronic, you didn't have all this auto-tune. If you could sing, you could sing, and if you couldn't, then oh well. When you went to a concert, you had to hear the concert the way a TI is. Okay, and it was good, So that's the difference. So you go and you spend $500, $600, $700, or you go get your credit card and max it out and go see somebody, and they sounded like not like what you want them to sound like because they don't have auto tune or auto tune ain't working, and you don't pay all that money. You're not happy. I know I'm not. Hey there. You're not happy. Okay, you can pretend like you happy because I just recently went to a concert. Sis wasn't happy. Okay, however. When I go to Gladys Knight, when I went to Patti LaBelle, when I went to Dionne Warwick when she was singing, when I went to any of those concerts, when I went to Michael Jackson and saw him sing Rock With You live and in person, okay, he sounded like the record. Oh, excuse me, you don't know what a record is. A record is this thing that's about this size. That's a 45, and it had a little circle in the middle, and you put it on something called a turntable, and it had a little needle, and you put it on there, and it played sound. That's called a 45. Yes. So It wasn't what y'all call them now, MP3s, or what y'all call them something else now. They got a whole nother something now, not even an MP3. However, it wasn't electronic, it wasn't AI, it was the real McCoy, which is why I take my hat off to Lettucey, because I saw her in concert and she said just this: if I can't deliver what's on my CD when I sit here, then I'm not doing my job. And she's right. And girlfriend can blow. See, that's a person who can sing. You don't say, oh, she can sing. You say they can blow. Okay, and she can blow. She can sit in a chair, not gyrate, not do anything, and blow. So she could be in a wheelchair, and I would go to her concert, and I'd be bawling in tears because guess what? She can blow. So those are the things that you got to see when you were in the 70s and in the 60s and in the 80s and some of the 2000s too, because I will say people like Jill Scott can blow. But all of these people that are doing this stuff like this, and now they are transitioning back to trying to get back to some of the basics and really distinguish themselves and have their own way of singing and not being cookie cutter, are mimicking old school behavior. Okay. Yeah, you got the ones that are the electronics and the this, that, and the third. Okay. But I'm gonna tell you like this: don't nothing beat real people. Airtime, all the time. See, this is what y'all get for not coming up with telling me what's you know. Would you say Tanya? Yes, Tanya Gardner. Yes, you're absolutely right. And I see 711 people in there hearing me preach. Give me one more like. I love you.
What we get. You mean like
no, this is no really, because I know I got them in there like, oh, old lady, you're honey. Trust me, I'd rather be this old lady with these memories. What's the ones you gonna have? Okay, the girl, they got some nice people now on YouTube that are making like gospel songs and like that, and they are AI, and you can tell they're AI, but whoever is singing the songs, they have nice voices and stuff. They probably put a whole bunch of people's voices together to make the perfect voice. However, nothing ain't gonna rock a real voice. Because even at 80, 90, 100 years old, Gladys Knight still can sing, neither one of us. How many of you young people that are gyrating right now, I can't tell who is who. Okay, because everybody is look when somebody comes out something different, and these people have good voices, but they have people that are backing them that are telling them they gotta be like Mike. You need to be like you. You know what I'm saying? Explore your personality, your talent. You got some. You know what I'm saying? Explore it. Don't hide yourself behind somebody else's behavior or what they tell you should be. For real, because there's a lot of talented young people out there, but you can't tell because they all sound the same. And yes, we had doo-wop groups, but I'm gonna tell you, I could tell the difference between the Stylistics, Black Ivory, the OJs, all of them, because they all had what you say. When you learn to sing back then, you learn to get your own style. So you may start off mimicking other styles, but eventually, if you really are a singer, you learn to get your own style. You learn your own riffs. You learn all of those things. It's an art. It's an instrument. Okay? But if you got things doing it for you, all you got to do is open up your mouth and it's just going to make it sound like whatever it sounds like, you know? So what I'm going to do, she got the skillet clean. I'm going to do this barbecue sauce, which is very simple. And the base of it, let's see if this is open before I tell you how simple it is. And you can be making my coffee. It is open, so I'm just going to open up the top of it. So I don't have that much chicken, so I probably will use a cup of this, a cup of the ketchup, and you can use tomato paste if you want, but you're going to end up having to sweeten it anyway, because then it's just going to taste like tomato paste. So I used 2 cups of this ketchup. I lied. Okay, and I put it in here, and this is going to taste really good. So I got about 2 cups of ketchup in here. Then I'm going to take just a little bit. I'm going to do an 1/8 teaspoonful of this low sodium teriyaki, just a little bit in there. Just a touch, just like that. And then I'm going to take just a touch of Worcestershire sauce. So, yes, that one, okay? Just a little bit of that, just a little touch, okay? No, we can turn the fan off. See, I've ignored it so much until I forgot it was on. Look how good I am. See how good I get? To tell y'all, okay? I'm giving y'all the best that I got, baby. Yes, I am. So now you have a choice. If you want to make it smoky, you can put some of this in it. Okay. My meat is smoky enough, so I really don't have to go there. So what I am going to do, I'm gonna show you a little trick. Now, my grandmother on my father's side used to make some really good barbecue sauce, and what she would do, she would put vegetables and bell peppers and onions and all that stuff, but she would cut them up really fine, and it would just season it. So there are a lot of different things. What is that? Oh, that's the doggone coffee pot. But one thing she would do is put a little bit of lemon juice in. You're like, you're putting lemon juice. Listen, you gotta trust the process. Trust the process. If you would try some of these recipes, you'd be seeing what I'm talking about. And those of you who have tried them have told me, you're like, scrumdiddlyicious. So you take this little piece right here, and this is what you do. But if you have some seeds in here, which we do, you can take them out this way. Bye. We can take them out this way, and you can use your hand just like this, and you squeeze right side up. And as you see juice. And you don't have to worry about the seeds coming out and you eating them or de-seeding it. That's all. So I got a little bit of juice on my arm, but you know what? Hey, collateral damage. So let me wipe that off. But that's what you do if you want to do it quickly. If you don't, then you do like my husband and you go up there and get the fancy juicer and do that. And I ain't trying to do all that, y'all. So anyway, so you put a little bit of lemon. So that was probably about a half a teaspoonful of lemon juice. I'm going to take, and you know I like my garlic, so I'm going to take a teaspoon and a half of garlic and put it in here. Okay, that's good. Then I'm going to hit it with my onion powder. And I'm going to do a half a teaspoonful of onion powder. And I'm going to do the same thing with the garlic. You just put garlic in there. For those of you coming in, dried garlic and fresh garlic have two different tastes. So again, trust the process. Okay, so then I'm going to go and I'm going to do my Casey's Blessing. And right now, if you're a Maryland resident, this is available to you on my website, FLAVAHOUSE.co. It's limited there, so you probably want to go over there and try this because there's no sodium and there's no salt in this, and you can make it rain like I do. And I'm going to make it rain. I'm going to do a tablespoonful of rain here today. Okay, if you have something, some other all-purpose seasoning, you want to read it and you want to measure it if it has salt content. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of pepper, and that's going to be about an 1/8 teaspoonful of pepper. Now, at this point, you have a choice. You can make it spicy if you want by putting some jalapenos in there. You put a little cayenne pepper. Because it's just the adults, I'm going to hit it with a little heat. So I'm going to put a little bit of heat on here, and I'm going to put about an 1/8, not even an 1/8, a 1/4 teaspoonful of the cayenne pepper. And I am going to get my herbettes. So I'm going to hit it with my basil because you know I love basil. And I'm going to hit it with the Italian herbs because Italian herbs has the oregano and it has a couple of other herbs in here. And I'm going to put a medium pinch. And if you don't know what a pinch is, it is your index finger and your thumb. A medium one is about here. That is the Italian herbs. I'm going to hit it with the basil because I can. And you don't have to if you don't want to, because guess what? Your kitchen, your way. Okay, my kitchen, my way. I suggest you try my way because it's delicious, but hey. Okay, and I'm going to do a medium of my basil. Put that in there. And these are mainstays that I have in my house. And I would suggest you do too, because honey, once you go there, you don't want to go back. So now this is what I'm doing. I don't usually use corn syrup, but I want this to have a more sticky, glazy type dynamic to it. So I'm going to use the corn syrup, and I will probably use, when I get I usually like to use the Splenda simple syrup. It's similar to this with a Splenda, but I couldn't get any, so I'm going to have to use this. Okay, but you see how sticky that is. Okay, so I'm going to take this, or you can use honey, and I will use a 1/2 cup of this. Okay, and then I need my Splenda because this really doesn't give it take that tanginess away. So I'm going to get my Splenda and get a spoon. I'm going to get a fork rather, and put that down. Okay, so far I have all of these ingredients in here. The only thing I don't have is like real onion, which I don't need because I use the onion powder. Okay, so let me Fine, I'm going around in circles. You got me going in circles. And that's because I just heard Luther sing it. Yes. So anyway, let me get me a nice little fork that I can throw away. And the Splenda. And you can make my coffee, and then I can kill two birds with one stone. Okay. Because you know I got to talk about my Sundown Coffee while I do this. So we're going to multitask today.
Did you already see on
I don't know what that sounds like. I don't remember. I remember those two songs. I'm going to put 3 squirts of Splenda. You can put a half a teaspoonful of regular sugar if you want to use that, or the sweetener of your choice. I have to listen to that tea when I get off the phone.
Also, should I turn the other one?
Yeah, you can. But I don't need it right now because I need to let this do what it needs to do.
Okay.
Okay, and if you could pass me the Dijon mustard.
Yeah.
That'll be nice. Now, I'm putting the Dijon mustard because you can do one or two things. Now, my grandmother used to put a little bit of vinegar. And some people, depending on what region of the country you live in, is going to determine how you like to make your sauces. I like mine to be sweet and tangy. In some places, it's very, I think it's like either the Carolinas or in Tennessee, they like things to be more vinegary, so. But, I'm like, it's all about my taste buds. It doesn't matter where I come from. So I'm putting like a little squirt of the Dijon mustard because it is savory. It's a little tangy, but it's not too tangy. And I'm just stirring it in. Just like that. Do we have any Gravy Master? That's what I need. And you're like, why are you doing that? I told you Gravy Master is going to be caramelization and I want to get color. I also want to put a little bit of the paprika in here because I want this smoky flavor from the paprika, but I also want the color. So I'm going to put a teaspoonful of paprika, and then I'm going to put a little bit of the Gravy Master in. And like I said, that is optional. I just don't want it to be, I want it to be a little more maroon color instead of so ketchupy looking. So I'm putting in a drop of Gravy Master so I can darken it up just a little. Because y'all know I'm visual. Y'all know this. Y'all ain't brand new to me. See, now that looks like I want to look. I should have showed you what it looked like before I put it in there. Okay. But it's not as bright red anymore. And I'm trying to be careful because, see, I got this light colored moo on, and it already has caught enough of the residue of my life. Yes, the residue of my life. Okay, so I'm stirring this up really good. Now, you can do one or two things at this point. My grandmother used to then take, I'm going to need that too. My grandmother used to then take this and put it in a pot and slow cook it. And I'm telling you, if you cook it, it's going to erupt the flavors even more. But because, we're doing hat, we ain't doing all that. You're still going to get the results you want. Trust me. Okay. So I'm going to taste this and just see. But sometimes, because I taste all this other stuff, my stuff be kind of off. So let me just taste this. Drop a little on my finger. No cross-contamination. That tastes pretty good. Now I'm going to have a beautiful assistant taste it because, like I said, I got the juice and all kinds of stuff, and it's just kind of sitting there with me. I'm going to put some more garlic in it, though. And I think I'm probably going to need a little bit more. I'm going to shake this. A little bit more sugar component to cut some of this tomatoey taste. Okay. You got something to try it? Yeah, you go put it in. Don't be flicking that thing again. She around trying to mess my clothes up.
That's nice.
Okay, no more sugar. I'm thinking a little bit of this.
Honey. Oh, a little bit.
A little bit of this, yeah. So get it clingy. Because see, believe it or not, this is not that sweet. This is store brand. But she says she approves. I thought I saw Grill Master for a moment. Okay, I'm gonna hit it with another squirt of Splenda. Okay. I'm telling you, if he don't show up, I ain't gonna feed him. He gonna be mad. It's tick tock, tick tock. Okay, come back over here and taste it now. You be running away. Okay, and I'm gonna need that Pyrex thing too. Oh. So yeah, because I needed to get an oven.
Okay, so
and then you need to go over here so you can get the secret side together, because we promised that if they stick around, we was gonna do what? See, now next week when I do my secret side, I'm gonna give you a heads up, the opportunity. Anybody who can guess what the secret side is for next week, I got something special for you. You get something special, okay? But you got to be prepared to put it in the chat. And if you guess it, guess what? You are the champion. Okay. Okay, what did you do? Because you forgot that I need you to taste this.
I was getting stuff.
I know. See, she just got one side tracked and just worried about herself.
No, not myself, but the other side.
Yeah. Anywho, y'all. So let me get my coffee off of here. And that was the conclusion of my rant about the 70s. If you have any responses in the replay or anything else, I'm gonna have a little comment box there, and you can go for it. Because all opinions are allowed. I just know what I know. Okay.
And it's a little sweeter.
It tastes better.
It was still good.
It was good. She liked it either way.
I'm like, it was good, but
now it's better.
Yeah.
Okay, so tonight we're talking about why in the world is coffee so popular at night? Y'all know why it's popular with me, because I never sleep. So and it's not because of the caffeine either, because honey, I could drink a pot of this and I will go to sleep. It's always to the moment I stand still. That's really good. Okay, but so I did my little research, y'all know. And I'm gonna tell you, night coffee feels like a reward, and it does. The day coffee in the morning is more like survival mode. And I feel that too, because when I'm really tired and I'm working during the daytime, the coffee perks me up a little. It doesn't do that thing like, I'm like, no, it doesn't do that, but it does perk me up a little. I can tell when I don't have coffee, I'm a little more subdued. But the nighttime coffee is like having a warm blanket wrapped around you. It really is for me. I'm going to put this over here, or I'm putting the chicken back in here and let this do its thing, okay, while we talk about this. And then beautiful assistant is going to show you what she does to make the beautiful side. The beautiful side! Okay, so let me get this over here. And I'm using this skillet again, and I'm just going to heat it up a little, get the chicken back in here. Okay, but I'm not going to put any oil in, because now my chicken has rested, and my chicken is happy. My chicken can be eaten like this, I hope you know, because it smells so good. And yes, I am. I'm going to turn I think I'm going to do the bake. I think I'm going to do, I'll wait, because I'm going to do broil.
So what?
I'm going to do broil. But anyway. So, don't make it. You got to make it in front of them so they can see. Okay, so basically, morning coffee says things like, okay, let's go to work. Night coffee says, baby, sit down. You survived the day. I believe. Yes, I do. That it says that to me. It really does. It's a comfort with ritual. I won't say I do it every single night, but I will tell you those nights that I stay up and I'm working or whatever. Yes, I like to have, and I don't do a lot of coffee. I do probably maybe 1 cup of coffee. It is occasionally I'll do 2. So I'm not that person that sits and drinks coffee all day. It just takes me a long time to drink 1 cup of coffee. That's all. So I'm taking a sip of this, because this is really good. Okay. And Like I said, it's a ritual. It's about the mug, because I'm a mug person, and it's the smell and the aroma of my coffee. I don't like the smell of all coffees. Okay, so this is smoking now, so let me get this over. And bring it down, because I got it on a 9. Bring it down, and then I'm going to start putting my chicken back in, just like that, because I wanted to kind of reheat. Just like that. And yes, I'm touching it with my fingers, because I'm going to wash my hands again. Let me turn it back up, because I wanted to get that little char on the top again. Just around, just like that. I'm going to leave it open face. And get rid of this here. I didn't even need the cooking spray because the skillet is so seasoned at this point. You don't need a whole lot. Okay, let me wash my hand off. Like this. And I'll get back over here tending to this meat. And I'm going to wash this off because I don't want to cover this meat. I want it to have air to it while it has the sauce cooking on it. So let me get this cleaned off. My little screen. I didn't realize that Rico's sister had put it here in the sink. My screen, because I need it for this. Yeah, because I don't want to steam this. I want the sauce to kind of dry up. And so you don't need to cover it, you know. But not to worry, I will get it all clean and nice and dried off and use it again. Not a problem. Okay, so let me turn this around. I heard him get over here because I don't want my meat to scorch. I just wanted to crisp. Okay, dry that off. Make sure it got most of the water off, because you know when you hit that water, that grease is going to be an issue. But it really is doing this thing vigorously. Okay, so. Oh! Here he is! Mr. Yeah, he heard me say he wasn't going to eat. Uh-huh. So you know how to get him. Tell me not to eat. That's it. Beautiful sister. Look at that design here on my floor. Okay, let me bring that down. Oh, yeah. Just like that. Turn it over. See that design on my floor? Okay, so let me get that. I'm turning it over. He heard me say that he wasn't going to eat. And he came floating down the stairs.
I came down to clarify.
Oh, you came? Oh, really? Clarify that you wasn't going to eat until you come down here? That's what that was. Because I'm here to tell you, you got to clarify. I can verify that was what was going to happen. Because I'm going to act just like you were still sleeping.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah. All right. So let me turn it down just a little bit. Because there's a nice little char on it. Now I'm going to hit it with my sauce. I'm going to put some sauce on here. So let me put a little sauce on. Just like that. Just pour my sauce all over there. There you go. And I want all of it in there. Yes, I do. Okay. So I got I want that to drip. Now I'm going to spread it on here. Just like that. And I'm going to keep no lid on it. Because if you put a lid on it, then of course it's just going to become, just a lot of loose sauce. And we want to get the effect of having it out there and the grill master doing his thing. Okay, of course I'll never touch the hem of the grill master skirt, but indoors, I'm the grill master.
You're the queen.
Yes, indoors, I'm the grill master. And I'll make it work. Right, so you just want to make sure that every bit of this chicken is covered or whatever meat you're using. But you know you can use other meats to do this too. Yes, the cooking time is going to be a little different. You can do this with pork. You can do this with beef, depending on the piece of beef that you're going to use. You know, you can do this with lamb, Lois. Okay, but I'm going to turn the heat up. I just want to make sure this is all covered. Okay, let's get that again. Now I'm going to put this on top, and I'm going to turn it up to probably like a 5 or 6. I'll see what 6 does because I don't want anything to scorch. I'm going to take this, put this over here, put some water in that, and get rid of the scorch. Okie dokie now. So, we'll get that over here. Get hand dried off rather, and finish my coffee sundown information. By that time, then I can get this over. And beautiful sister actually can start telling you about, as soon as I finish it, she's going to tell you how she put together that side. You'll never guess what it is. No, you won't, because I didn't tell you. But anyway, that's really good. So, what they're saying here is, night is when you find it, you know, they're not lying. At nighttime, when it gets quiet, even in this here house, you can think. Your mind can explore. There's nothing, I ain't gonna tell a lie, there's always some clutter in mind. However, but for the average person, you can kind of bring it down a level, and the coffee is going to help you get there, you know, or whatever your drink is of choice. Coffee is my choice. Whatever works, whatever floats your boat, okay? But something in order to differentiate your day, you know. And I'm gonna tell you, when you're scrolling at night on your phone, like Grill Master, or you're writing in a book, or you're reading, or whatever, or letting the TV watch you, like Grill Master does. You know, he loves to let the TV watch him. He sure does. How am I going? This is what you like to do. That's your thing. It's your thing. Do what you wanna do. I can't tell you who to sock it to. See, that's another one of the metaphors. I'll tell you what that means. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I know what it means now, but when I was little singing it, I didn't know what I was talking about. But you know what? Ignorance is bliss. Because I didn't take my mind with thoughts that I didn't need to think. You know, I'm just here to say. So that's pretty much, like I say, with the coffee thing, it's a state of mind. You know what I'm saying? It's a state of mind. And my mind needs to be in that state when it's quiet. That's all I can say. How about you? That's all I can say. So, beautiful assistant, when you get a few minutes, you can come over here and show my people how you made the secret side. And I'm going to drink my coffee. Ooh, that's good. See, but if I sit and drink all this, I ain't going to want to eat that. So, I'm going to try to do the best I can for you. But it seems it's not enough. I don't know if that's the 70s, 80s. What is that?
That feels like 80s.
That's 80s, probably. That's 80s.
That feels like 80s.
That's 80s.
That represents.
I met her once. She was the best friend of one of my high school classmate's sister. Ooh, what is this? Yes, there's some kind of goop on here. Yeah, I don't like that. And who her is, if you don't know, who is her? Who was she? Who is her? What was her name? No, that was not. Oh Lord!
What?
Oh my gosh! Please. I know every single song. I know the first song she made, and I can't. Her name is just eluding me. Oh my gosh! No, don't say that name. No. Okay, come on, Teresa. I'm gonna have to rely on you. Jeez. Oh, what is her name?
What's the song?
I tried. then she also sings, "This time I'll be sweeter." Angela Bofield. How could I forget that?
That's what I said.
No, you didn't. You said Phyllis Hyman.
Okay, anyway, let me show y'all. Okay, so
Let's turn this off. Well, no, I'll turn it. You probably want to get closer so they can hear.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
All right. So what I have here is a bowl full of dried tricolor pasta. Smack anything. Let me slide that on over here. I don't know if y'all can really see. Where's the camera? I can't see. There it is. You can kind of see. Huh?
No, I'm going to turn it down some. The one that needs to get the hot.
So I have that, and I also have some tomato and some red onion that I pre-chopped already. I usually take the fleshy part of the tomato. Hold on. I keep the fleshy part of the tomato, and I take the seedy, like, wet part out of it for the salad, so it doesn't add any additional moisture and makes the salad, like, loose and have, like, unnecessary, juice in it. So I'm just combining all the veggies into the noodles, and then I'm going to add my mayonnaise. I have some mayonnaise. I don't do measurements. Do I have a measurement?
Well, you give one roundabout measurement. She doesn't do measurements. Okay. But so you have how much of the pasta? Did you use the whole box?
No.
Okay.
So I had like a half a box from last time. So I used half that box, and then maybe half a cup from the other box.
So probably 3/4 of
I'll say maybe a 3/4 cups of pasta. Of the box, not of 3/4 cups, because this is way more than that. But I mean, you can make less for accommodate your size of whoever you're feeding. But so I'm going to add this, and I'll say for the amount that I'm making, I'm adding I'd say maybe like a cup of mayonnaise. You just want to make sure that all the noodles are covered and have a good amount of, coating to kind of catch all the seasoning that we're going to add. So I'm going to start with this amount because if I need to add more, I can, but I can't take it back. So I'm going to start here. I'm also going to start layering a little bit more seasoning.
Excuse me, I'll just take this. Okay.
So I've brought this over, but I'm going to add this toward the end because again, this is the wet ingredient. So I want to gauge how much moisture I'm adding. But so one of the other ingredients I'm adding, celery flakes. You guys know how those work. They're dried out, but they reanimate with moisture. So putting a little of that in here, I would say maybe a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half for what this big bowl. I'm gonna put maybe a tablespoonful of the squeezable garlic in here. I just want to have a little bit of the taste of garlic. I don't want it to overwhelm the noodles. I will also be adding Casey's blessing, of course. Of course, that's without even a thought. No measurement. I don't know. Squeeze. I don't know that measurement. Squeeze amount. Now that I've added that, I may add a little bit of salt, and I always add a little bit of Splenda after I do the tangy to balance out. So I will add this first, and then just a little bit to start. So I'm gonna start with maybe a tablespoon right now, and then I'll get my other spoon here, and I'll mix it up to see if it's all wet or not wet, but like all enough moisture and enough coating for everything. That's what it is. So mix it up, see if it's all coated, and if not, then I'll add a little bit more of everything that I've already previously added. So I feel like I need a little bit more mayonnaise because I like mine to be a little more creamy. Because as it sits in the refrigerator, it kind of sets up and then gets its own little kind of dressing. So yeah, that's my preference for me. So add a little bit more for creaminess. I added maybe another half a cup to this, and then I'm gonna add more of the wet to balance out because right now it's kind of stiff. So I'm gonna add the Italian dressing. And I added probably about a tablespoon the first time. This time I'm adding maybe about a half a cup. Mixing that into it to kind of now it's a good balance. And I'm gonna add the remainder of however much seasoning I'm gonna add. I'm gonna add a little more Casey's Blessing. I'm going to add maybe 3 squirts of Splenda. 1, 2, 3. Just for me, a little bit of salt. Teeny bit of salt. And I think that's pretty much it for that. Oh, a little pepper. I'll put a little pepper. And I would put like maybe some paprika on top for color. And some Italian seasoning. I forgot that. Sorry.
And what I did over here, I flipped my meat because it has a nice sear on it and it's drying up the sauce. So the sauce is absorbing into this beautiful meat and getting a nice char like it would on the grill. All right. I turned it up from a 6 to a 7 because the heat was dissipating. And I told you I get this hot spot on one side, the other side is like,
I swear all of our cooking instruments are temperamental.
Yeah. I told everybody my pot's assassin. So, yeah.
Okay, just a tad bit more mayonnaise. So this is just kind of like a preference thing at this point. It has enough, but because I know how we like it to be, I like it a little bit more, like more sauce. If you like yours a little drier, you can stop right here. It'll still taste good.
And then also let them know as it sits, the next day, the noodles really absorb the dressing.
Well, that's what I did say that. I said that earlier. Yeah, that's why I like to add that little extra so it can like get its own little dressing in it. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. And then you let it sit in the refrigerator and serve as needed, as prepared to eat, because it's delicious. You're gonna eat a lot of it, right?
I'm gonna be very careful because my meat is getting so tender. Now I'm transferring the ones that are ready into this baking dish because, like I said, I want it to have a nice little char. Some of them have the char because of where they were positioned in the pan, and the other ones need to get their life.
Oh, that's pretty though.
So I'm just removing the ones that already got their life.
I'm moving all my mess out the way.
And getting it in here, and then I'll show you. It already looks like it's been on the grill, but I just think that is one more little step.
I'm about to say, it don't look like you do there.
No, there's one more little step.
Oh, you know what? I done forgot one big side ingredient, but one of the main ingredients. How could I do that?
Okay, she's saying she
How
forgot
could I do that? My dear, I just some tasted a little off. Relish.
Oh, that's important.
You can't forget this. Unless you don't like relish, then I mean you can. But I like this. This is like crucial for me.
And it's that, what kind of relish is that? Sweet relish or dill relish?
Yes, this is Mount Olive squeezed sweet relish. What was the one we used to get? It was like B&G.
Oh, that's in New York. Well, they do have it, I think, in Walmart.
I've seen that.
In Walmart.
I saw that like all these or something. Like one of those little.
Yeah, but the one that we used to get in New York is B&G. That is.
Wow, I said it right. I can't believe I remember that.
Yep, B&G.
Huh. Look at me in memory. Whoop.
Okay.
Oh, and if anybody feels like adventurous, you could add a little cayenne pepper to it. I ain't going that route right now.
Okay, almost ready. Slap it in where I need to go, but I want you guys to see it.
Okay, I is going to go put this away. Bye.
You can't beat this with a stick. You know what I'm saying? Very little effort. Very little effort. And the good thing about it is, when you're ready to eat this, you won't have any bones involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely, you want to get that char on it. Get that char in that skin.
Me thinks I made a lot of things. Can you freeze pasta?
No, you probably don't want to freeze that because it's going to get waterlogged. You want to eat it.
Oh, but you know what? It's a good idea. You could use some of the pasta to make like shrimp salad or tuna salad, salmon salad, different salads with it. Chicken salad?
Yep, you sure can. You can put chicken, have pasta, you know, the meat in the pasta, you know, which is very good. Now I'm going to show you guys. Let me move this off of here because it's still steaming. Okay. Now, let me show you. At this point right here, if you really want to, you can leave it. But I just want to take it to that next level. Get a little more crisp on here. So I'm sticking it in on broil for a couple of minutes. And if your pasta is ready, then we can get ready to plate this puppy up.
Yeah.
Okay.
My pasta?
But I just, okay. Do you guys see this? Can you see? If you can see, give me some hearts. Let me know. Tell me that don't look like it just came off the grill. Okay. Tell me. I guess nobody's there. But anyway, yes. That looks like it. And it smells like it. But I'm going to take it to another level. And I'm going to get in this oven for like 2-3 minutes. And I have it on broil.
Oh, yeah. That is a beautiful char.
Take that off. Get it in the oven. Just get a nice little crisp on it. And then, yeah, we can do this thing. Sit that in the middle. If we can get some plates, we'll get ready to plate that puppy up.
White or regular?
I want the other ones because they got a nice color to go. They go. The color goes well against it.
Okay, so the green ones.
Okay. All right. And this won't take but a second because trust me, you got underneath the broiler. Chop, please.
Yeah, go on, my boy.
Yes. Let me get my chair out your way. Okay. And I'm just watching this because look at that. Beautiful. And that's just drying up the sauce a little bit more to give you that full effect of
Off the grill.
off the grill. Exactly.
I know it smells like a grill.
Yeah, it smells like it. It sure does.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the biggest things I'm looking forward to during the summertime is small grill barbecues.
Yes, I know. I know. You looking for the grill master to do.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm the prep, and he's the master. Okay. All right. Okay, so this is ready, just like that. Just like that. Just like that. See what I'm saying? Okay, so that took me like 3 minutes, not even 3. Okay. All right, so now I'm gonna try to hold this because these last things are hot. Okay, but I'm gonna try to get it over here to y'all. You see what I'm saying? Y'all see that? That's what you got. That indoor cookout. There you go. All right, so let me get that over here. This place over here. Beautiful sister can come and help me plate this puppy up because it's not hard. She gonna put her salad, piece of meat. I'm gonna garnish. We're gonna do assembly line. That's what we're gonna do. Okay. And I'll garnish as she plates. So gently plate your salad, make it beautiful. See, this is the proof that everyone can cook. Because there you go. All you gotta do is try. Let me get my nice little garnish over here. What do I have? Some parsley.
I knew you were gonna do.
A cup of tea, a cookie, and you. Yes, I watch Bugs Bunny. Oh, I know what you didn't do, which we like beautiful. A little bit of. There you go.
I already knew that. I'm about to.
See, she puts hers on after. I put mine on in the bowl.
Yeah, the one you be on top so you can see it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna give us a little bit.
Yeah, I don't want a whole lot. Because I've drank so much now until tummy's kind of full.
Yeah, you drunk the mixologist and master. That enough or more?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. One little piece, or you want to have?
No. I can take a piece of the meat, but I can start putting that on there. Be careful because it is really, really tender.
I know, right?
Really, really tender. So. Okay, there you go. All right, so Corey, come get your special whatever you do, child. Yes. And let's get your paprika. A little bit on there.
I'll do these.
All right, get your fork. Let me get this over here. Let me give him his little garnish. Yeah, that's really cool. There you go. And if you want to get a few little green onions, you can just kind of put it on there. Tastes really good on top of your chicken. Put that on there. Okay, but let me let y'all see what you're working with. Okay, I guess I can turn it around. Okay, you do it because you're better than I am. I can never, my hands get tired. I can't lift it over there.
Ooh, that's a hank. That's
okay. You hold it up a little. Okay, very because I want them to be able to see there at home. Now, you see what that grill, that, you can't tell me that didn't come off a grill. Right there. Right there. Okay, let me get grill masters. Tell them you better come on, I'm going to eat it.
Oh, yeah.
They're trying to play.
All right, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and give this chicken a taste. Oh, my goodness.
Well, I guess that's good.
No, that is amazing. Wow. Okay. It is. Oh my goodness, I don't know what to say. I'm left speechless.
Oh, come on, you can come up with something, I'm sure.
Well, the meat is nice and tender and everything. The like the flavors, it's just perfection. I love that. And it has like that smokiness and everything like that you would get from the grill. It's so. I just, again, I don't know how to put it into words.
Okay.
Really good.
Is it reminiscent of having it cooked out? Is it better than having it cooked outside? Is it equal to having it cooked outside? Okay, are the flavors there?
The flavors are definitely there, and it's very reminiscent. Yes. Oh my goodness.
If you couldn't grill, this is where you want to go. And even if you grill, you want your grilled meat to be moist and tender and juicy. Have that lovely. What do you think about the sauce?
Sauce has that nice hint of like sweetness to it that like it's not overpowering or anything. It's perfect. It's on point. I like it. I like it a lot.
Okay. Okay, you can put grill. This is Grill Master's plate. He may or may not get it because he keeps disappearing. So every time he disappears, a little bit comes off his plate. And that's how that works.
Shrinking.
Okay, you can get yourself a fork.
Yep.
And you can say what you have to say. And this meat is so tender, y'all, until listen, I'm sitting here with a fork and
Don't
cutting,
even
and
have to
cutting
fight
it.
with it. I already knew. I could look at it. It looked like it was just barely holding itself together.
I am cutting this with a fork. Okay.
Except one utensil meal here.
I don't know. You're taking a long time.
Okay, so here we go. First of all, the crust on the outer skin is actually like some like crust there, like it's crispy. That's interesting.
Because it's like it's grilled.
Yeah, it literally is. That's
now
so dope.
you have that plastic little rickety fork,
and I'm still
okay
having very little. Huh?
I have the metal, baby.
Yeah, it'll just grab some quick.
And see, she.
Oh, that's good. It just gives you.
Okay, what do you think of the sauce?
It tastes really, really good. Like, it doesn't taste like any other barbecue sauce I've ever had other than home. And I mean that in a good way. I can't find anything that would compare to that. But it just gives you that, home cooked, like, summer vibe. It gives you summer energy. Like a home cookout. Literally like a cookout.
Like them 70s cookout, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Not the computer generated ones. Not them AI cookouts. With AI.
Yeah, chicken's the star right there.
Okay, so y'all
and crispy.
Y'all didn't get much.
It has.
And she's still talking now. Okay.
Haha. Nice and crispy on the outside. It has a nice juicy inside. It's sweet, tangy, but it has like a nice like smokiness to it. It actually tastes like it was grilled. And then you get that little hint of teriyaki. Oh, yeah, a little teriyaki right there. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you keep this up, baby. You're going to put me out of business.
Oh, no. Don't think you're going to get out of it. Okay, let me move the table, y'all. I told y'all to start moving the table. Y'all get a closer look. We move that out the way. Look. Move it around. And over. Just like that. All right, so let me let y'all get a closer look. I got a nice little big pieces. And like I said, this right here, do you see the shine on that? This piece of meat right here, and I know a lot of people don't like the thigh meat, but when you debone it, it's, as they say, chef's kiss. So let the chef kiss it. Watch.
That is good.
Yes. That's delicious. That is delicious. Oh my goodness, that's delicious. Now, I'm gonna let you see her salad up close because she forgot all about it. Okay, look at that. Right there. Watch and learn. See, look at this. You see the mouth? Okay, come on. Yum! With that being said, let me move that back around here. And I'm gonna do one more for y'all. I'm gonna get back over here to this little here drink that pairs with it. And I'm gonna say cheers to y'all. And I'm gonna clean my palate. How about that?
I can eat this all day long.
Well,
oh yes.
If he thinks he's going to get out of grilling, he's sadly mistaken. However, if you want the flavors of the grill, make this stuff right here. You're going to love it. I hope this has been fun for you, because it sure has been fun for me going back down memory lane. Yes. I see the happiness. I see the pain. Yes. But it's all good, because the 70s were where it's at. And you might want to look that up, your youngins. Anyhow, I'm going to eat this, but y'all know what I wish you. I wish you love. I wish you peace. And we all wish you what, family? some great weekend eats. We're going to see you next week. We're going to come up with something else to reset your lives. And I suggest you learn a little bit more about what you say. Don't let the people see you at my crazy. Honey, let me tell you, there is no crazy here. It's none of that. This is about joy of life. And if you can wake up every day and still have that, then you've accomplished a lot. I'm going to see y'all next week. Yes, I am. With some more of my little craziness. Yes, I am. Toodles. Got to go. And I got to eat. And yes, I am. It's going to be sweet. Bye.